So it was back in 2014 when Alarice and I were sitting in our studio and we were praying and asking God, what is your heart for this nation? And what can we build for you, Lord? And as we were seeking and praying, the Lord downloaded a dream and a vision to me. It was a picture of a greenhouse. It was in this greenhouse when I saw the most endangered plants and species being brought in, and with the right environment, climate, and nutrient, what was supposed to be dead came back to life again. I saw these plants, it was thriving, growing. What was supposed to be small became an oak tree. And I saw it being taken out and planted across the globe. And that's when the voice of the Lord spoke to us and said, build me this greenhouse.
It was really on our heart to see a community of worshipers thrive, whereby actually living out and cultivating kingdom culture, the culture of heaven, just like that vision that Calvin described about the greenhouse, that we would see lives transformed and that we would see them empowered not just with technical skills, but with a heart of a worshiper, with a spirit of humility, with anointing and a heart to serve and to impact not just their local church, but their generation.
You know, I believe that AG is a movement of God and it's divinely ordained. I mean, I can testify to that because I've been there from day one. I've seen how it has grown and how it's evolved, and all that would not have been possible but really for the grace and the provision of God. And I believe that the work of AG in training and equipping musicians and then sending them out back to their churches will have tremendous impact.
For the last 4 years, just seeing how the team has grown tremendously and how the Lord has added full-time staff into our team, and not only that, we see each year just the numbers of students growing, and also the Lord has opened doors for us to minister, not just locally but also in the nations that He has shown to us.
Very early on, we learned that the dream was not to train musicians, but ministers of the Lord. We're not in it just to train people in their musicianship, but we're here to raise sons and daughters, forerunners, worshippers and missionaries, and that's the dream. And I believe we are part of a movement and a narrative that God is writing in the nations. What matters is that we are aligned to the sending activity of the Lord and to raise a generation that will usher nations into their prophetic destiny.
In this moment in the history, I believe, it's besides the prayer movement, we need the worship movement just going before us and breaking down these barriers, these mindsets that are holding people back. It's just worship, drawing people into His presence, drawing people's focus back to the Lord. It's just bringing people awareness of who God is and how great He is. And boom, we're seeing breakthroughs. And so, I believe the same, that the Lord will use all that you're doing to help us reach the nations.
It's a prophecy that stems way back from the time of Billy Graham when he was in Singapore. It's not just limited to missionaries in the traditional sense that we understand it, but also people who are equipped in various giftings who will be sent out from Singapore, who will then be used by God in a very powerful way to impact the lives of the people around. I can sense this in the work that AG is doing right now, through the training and equipping of musicians, songwriters. The songs are going even beyond the shores of Singapore and are being sung in churches outside Singapore, like estates and so forth. So the geographical impact of the work extends beyond Singapore, and I believe this is very much in line with God's plan.
In 1994, there was a prophetic word that was given by Cindy Jacobs, and she actually said this: I can see that from Singapore, God is going to release His grace, and He's going to use Singapore as a key to unlock the nations of the earth. For His glory, it has to be the key of the house of David. And that worship will be very, very important in the unlocking of the nations. From this place, the Lord was developing this whole infrastructure, not just for Singapore, but to literally go to the ends of the earth with this message. What if Awaken Generation has a part to play in this prophetic vision that was given 25 years ago? What if what we are building in actually raising up worshipers, in building an infrastructure for school, in ministering to the nations, that was God's plan for our nation of Singapore right from the beginning, and that we simply have this privilege and honor of saying yes to his call and to build his house because he is worthy.